This is instructions for finishing up the key plate as far as putting the dimensions and the layers and so forth. All right, so some of you don't have any layers on your drawing. So I'm going to show you how to actually get those. So the first thing you're going to do is type in LA and on layer. You're going to get this dialog box here. All right, so you can stretch it out because you need to see a few things on it. All right, so the layers is pretty much what controls your drawing. So you have the center lines and dimension lines and hidden lines and so forth. So let's just say, for instance, I didn't have any of those, and I'm going to delete these, a couple of them, so you can see how to put them in. If I can get rid of them. Oh. All right. It may not go anywhere, but since it won't, I just kind of abbreviate. All right, so you would do click right here, and it says new layer, and then you'll rename it. So I'm just going to do CL for centerline since I already got one name centerline. And then across here you have where you could turn the layer on and off and freeze it and prevent it from printing and so forth, and also set the color. So I'm just going to set the color to, yeah, I'll do magenta. And then for the line type, I'm going to load it. Now it may not, since you don't have any on yours, you'll have to click on load, and then you'll scroll down to center. You'll hit OK. And since I already have one here, it's going to just ask me, do I want to reload it? But yours is not going to do that. And you'll hit OK. So you'll basically repeat those steps with the hidden and also with the object, well, with the object line. All right. So the object line, when you come over to this category here on the line weight, the object lines are 0.53, the hidden lines are 0.20, and the center lines are 0.25. So then that gives you everything. So once you set those, then you have the ability to go back and forth between them here. So they're already set. So every time you click on something here, this right here, your properties will change. So all three of these should always say by layer. So by layer for the color, by layer for the line type, and by layer for the line weight. So those three will always be associated with this. If you change one of these manually, let's say for instance you do this and then you keep doing stuff, it's going to stay on that until you change it back to by layer. So just always make sure that these three right here are associated with your layer, especially when it comes to the color. And that's where a lot of the hang up is that you get hung up on the colors, but then you forget to change anything back. All right, so I'm gonna do my center lines. And I'm gonna start with this one. And I'm just gonna kind of make it off to the side. Like that. Then I'm gonna move it. So I'm gonna click on it, and then I'm gonna click on the center. Now, it's about even. It is even on both sides. So what I'm gonna do is actually build a mirror with it to get it going the other way, so it'll be the same. So I'm gonna click on mirror, select the object, hit the enter button, and I'm gonna pick the center. Now, I'm gonna turn my ortho off so I can see it rotating, and then I'm gonna hit the tab key and change that number that's in the right side to 45. Now, don't trust that the machine is right on 45 because it'll round numbers up. It could be 44.50. So you want to make sure that you type it in manually. So you're going to type in 45, hit the enter button twice, and then it's going to stick. Now, in most cases, your center lines are not going to show up too well. So what you have is what's called an LT scale to make sure they show up. So if you type in LTS, hit the enter button. Right now it's at 1. Let's go with 0.50 and see what it does. All right, so 0.50 looks like that's perfect. And it split the center line the way it's supposed to and put the plus right in the middle. So I'm not going to remake that all over again. I'm just going to copy it. And I'm going to copy it everywhere I need it. So I'm just going to hover around these center points until I got center points in the middle. And even the one in the big one in the middle, I'm going to do that one also. Now, since that one is larger than the rest, what I'm going to do is just kind of take this and stretch it and touch the others. And the two that are purple here, I missed. I'm just going to take them and drag them up and down. Not all the way out the box. And to make sure that it stays straight, you might want to turn your ortho back on, just to make sure it's not crooked. Okay, so that's all my center lines that I need. I'm going to switch over to my dimension layer. I purposely make mine red for a reason, because it stands out. So for the dimensions, I'm going to do them pretty much like they are on the sheet, so I can find one. But I think that I did. I have to remember what I did, since I don't have a sheet over here. All right, so we'll just go for the gusto right here. All right, so I'm going to do a linear from this point to this one. So you always start with the interior dimensions first. All right, so you see that mine has 4 decimal places to it. We're going to change that. So we're going to type in dim style. And we're going to modify it. Now, the good thing that once you make these setting changes, you don't have to go back and do it on every single assignment, because we're working on the same file. Once they're set, they're set. All right, and we're going to do set current. We're going to do close. It's going to change it. So we're going to do that one. And we're going to do another one between these 2 points here. And we'll do the same thing across the bottom. So we're going to do one between this point. I'm going to drag this down. And we're going to do an overall between the 2 points. So now, since we are, I'm going to pull that one out. I'm going to pull this one out. That's going to be another one that goes in the middle of that. That's why I'm pulling this one out so far. So this one is actually going to go between this point and right here. Oh, you know what? We don't even need that. So we'll actually pull this in a little bit further, because we already got the same thing on the other side. So we don't need to repeat the same dimension twice. All right, so, but we will do the one from here to here, and we'll pull that one out. And now from that, we got, only thing we really need are a couple dimension diameters, which we'll do diameter for this hole here. And we're going to edit that dimension. So what you have to do is click behind the 5, hit the enter button, supposedly. Let me cancel that. There we go. And we're going to put 4 holes. All right, then we're going to do this diameter. Now, it may not do diameter because it's only a curve. So what we're going to do is actually do a little trick with it. So we're going to do QL. On here somewhere. We'll turn our ortho off. We'll drag this out. We'll click. And my line is not straight. All right, I'll straighten it out at the end. MTEX. All right, so hit the enter button again, and then you can start typing. So what we're gonna do is diameter 3. So we're gonna do 2% signs, lowercase c, 3.00, and then it's gonna give us a diameter for that. Otherwise, it's gonna do a radius if we did it the other way. So we're gonna straighten this out like so. All right, so I think the one thing that we do have left is, oh, we got our radius at the corners. So we're going to use a radius dimension for that. Oops, wrong one. And same thing. We'll double click. We'll go behind the number. We'll pull this out a little bit. Hit the enter button. Yeah. So we'll just do 4 PL, 4 places. And finally, we'll do our little key. And that'll be the last part of it. So we're going to do a linear. I'll turn this back on. We'll do 0.38 on that one. Then we'll do linear again. We'll do the 2 points here. So that'd be 0.75. We'll drag that up right there. So that's all the dimensions that you need. All right, so now what you want to do is put a title block around this. Move this over here. Then I'm going to copy the title block and put it around the drawing. And we're going to try to center it. I'm kind of jump around. Sometimes it's good to move things when they're not touching anything else. All right, so now is our text. All right, so text, multi-line. We're going to choose, go from top corner to bottom corner here. And I'm going to change my text height to 0.12. Then I'm going to choose the second, not the second, the third and the fifth button here. We'll just choose the third one, center. All right, so this is the key plate. We'll leave it at that, and we'll move it down a little bit because for some reason it seemed to been up high. And instead of doing that over again, we're just going to copy it. And I'm going to put it right in the center of every word that I need it because it's centered text. So for the date, whatever the date is, today is the 26th, I think, 27th. So 09/27/23. Then I'm going to click off to the side, double click, scale 1/1, drawn by view, and period. Third. And that's all the information. So next is just to export it as a PDF and then turn it in. All right, so we're going to go to here, export PDF. And if this says display, you would change it to window. And usually when you change it to window, it'll take you back out onto the screen. But if it doesn't, just click the little button next to it. It'll take you back onto the screen. And what this does, this is the last thing that we exported. So we need to reset the window. And sometimes you can be in a blank spot and not know it. So you have to make sure that you reset the window. All right, so in this case, we're going to do Keyplate dash your name. And then we're going to do save. Once it blinks, That's it. And then you just turn it in and you'll be done with that one. So that's it for the key plate.